Hello YouTube, it's shintigercurl here, that dude in the straw hat, bringing you yet another wrestling review. I'm of course joined by my friend and featured internet star, Joe. Say hi, Joe. He's in a very bad mood. Well, after a brief hiatus to prepare for the landfall of Tropical Storm Dan, now that that's done with, I'm back and I'm ready to resume my reviews. So, it's Monday night. You know what that means. Time for some Raw. So, CM Punk returned last week. What does this mean for the WWE as a whole? I got my notes. Let's get started. CM Punk comes out to a split crowd until he starts speaking. As he said weeks prior, in a microphone in the hands of any other wrestler, it's just a microphone. But in his hands, it's a pipe bomb. He pretty much goes on about the reasons why he re-signed with the WWE, stating that he wanted to be the source of change within the organization itself, and he has been pretty much the source of change since now we have a new boss and a new champion. Anyway, the COO, Triple H, comes out, and the two of them have a very intense verbal sparring, but Punk got the most of it, pretty much calling Triple H out on all the bullshit that he's been done over the years. Triple H says that tonight he will make an announcement concerning the WWE having two champions. So, that was as much as I don't like 20-minute long promos, this one I thoroughly enjoyed. It was a nice thing to see Punk get the better of the legendary cerebral assassin. So, it was just a joy to watch. There's nothing more you can say. Next up, our first match. Divas Battle Royal. Over the top rules. Meaning that you have to go over the top, you have to throw your opponent over the top rope, and both feet have to touch the ground. Don't expect a lot of that in this match. Winner will face Kelly Kelly at SummerSlam for her Divas title. This is about as much as you can expect from a Divas match. A lot of sloppy spots and I got a lot of respect for the Divas, but it just wasn't good. Although Kelly Kelly on the commentating table was actually very smart and quick-witted. Called Michael Cole a nerd. Let's win in my book. Anyway, the end comes when Beth Phoenix eliminates both Bellas at the exact same time, showing off her phenomenal physical strength, and earns the number one contender title shot. Kelly Kelly jumps her ass in the ring to get a handshake, but all she gets for her trouble is getting beaten down by the Glamazon. Yep, seeing some of CM Punk is rubbing off on Beth Phoenix as she calls Kelly Kelly a dolled up bleach blonde bimbo. Maybe, I guess like I said, some of CM Punk is rubbing off on her, and I mean that in every possible way. You get my meaning. Let's just say she's been on the receiving end of his straight edge. Yep, he's been making her go to sleep with his anaconda. And I don't mean Vice. Next up, we have a backstage segment between Miz and Truth, who have a tag match tonight. I have to say, I enjoy the team of Miz and Truth, with Miz trying to be the straight man and Truth being the funny, insane, sane man. It was a pretty good promo by both of them, and I hope to see more of them as a team. Next up, John Cena gets a backstage interview. Blah blah blah. Who cares? Next is our next match: Miz and Truth versus Ray and a returning John Morrison. Sexy. And yes, right, I said it. Sexy. The man is sexy. Anyway, this is a pretty good match. A shame though that Morrison doesn't get get to do a lot in the match. And Ray was pretty much in the match mostly. The end finish comes when, unfortunately, my cable was messing up, so I didn't exactly see the exact end. But according to Cole, Miz took a hit that was meant for our Truth. Truth picks up the win. Shame that the sexy had to go down like that. Anyway, next up, The next up we get a Triple H backstage segment where he talks about what CM Punk said, and he said that tonight he hopes that John Cena can keep things professional, whatever that means. Next segment, Dolph Ziggler comes out, and of course he's with Vicky Guerrero. He talks about how he is the best in the company and how nobody can follow him. Now, I will say this much about. I'll get to my point about Dolph Ziggler in just a second. Then Alex Riley comes out. He cuts a great promo saying that if Dolph wants to be as great as he claims to be, he only needs to do one thing: drop Vicky Guerrero. And I agree with this. Dolph Ziggler is an amazing in-ring talent. You don't see guys with that level of technical skill in the WWE anymore. The only other person I can think of is Daniel Bryan. But Dolph Ziggler can go a long way. But the problem is he's not that great on the mic, and he can't draw his own heat. That's why Vicky's there. So I think he should. I think that A-Rod is right, that Dolph needs to drop Vicky and find his own voice. So we got a feud brewing there. Next up, David Otunga and Joe Perfect take on Santino and Zack Ryder.
Woo, woo, woo. You knew it. Now, fist pump me.
I'm not fist pumping you.
I let you indulge in your homoerotic fantasies with that Applejaw John Morrison, and you will fist pump me!
Fine.
That's a good lad.
Sorry about that. If I didn't do it, he'd kick me in the balls when I slept. And I need my balls. Anyway, this was a decent enough match. Nothing to write home about. The crowd was hot for Zack Ryder, given that thanks to his internet show, and Michael Cole took vast amounts of pleasure in deriding him. Actually, Cole has been somewhat insufferable tonight. If it was only Jerry the King Lawler and JR, I would be happy. But Cole really makes me glad for the mute button. Oh, and by the way, apparently Santino has been taking wrestling tips from Mick Foley, because now whenever he does the Cobra, he has a little Cobra sock puppet. This does not do it justice. It is disgustingly bad. Anyway, Perfect and McGillicuddy win. But all I have to say is, enjoy those title belts while you can, boys. The Kings are coming, and they're taking over. Next up, we have some CM Punk backstage segment, where he talks about that he hopes that Triple H will make the right decision tonight. Next match, Alberto Del Rio versus Evan, don't call me Matt Seidel, or if you want to say, Evan, I job for this job, Bourne. It was a decent enough match, but who really thinks that Evan Bourne is going to go one over on Alberto Del Rio, of all people? He's been jobbing a lot lately, so it's pretty much what he does. Anyway, Alberto Del Rio hits the cross arm breaker, picks up the win. Then he decides to add insult to injury, and just keeps inflicting pain until Kofi Kingston comes out and breaks it up. Main segment. Triple H comes out to address the title situation when he's interrupted by Ricola spokesman and shareholder Johnny Laurinaitis, aka Johnny Ace. He comes out and he says that while Triple H is currently in charge, he only has been in the backstage business a little bit at the time, while Johnny has been working with Vince McMahon for over 10 years, and he understands what Vince would want. So he tells Trips to fire John Cena. Cena guerrillas his way out, and he pretty much makes fun of John Laurinaitis' voice. saying that the one thing he remembered, one of his best memories of Money in the Bank was knocking him out, and he threatened to do so again. Triple H wanted no part of it, saying that, hey, I want to knock you out too. So Cena goes on to say that he will not be stripped of his belt like some common whatever that he says, and Triple H assures him that he will not strip him of his title. Punk comes out and says that so he's like, what is it going to, you're going to just let the paper champion keep his while you strip me of my belt? We're going back to the status quo. Triple H assures him that he's not losing his belt. So predictably, as everyone predicted, Triple H makes it champion versus champion. CM Punk, John Cena, SummerSlam in 2 weeks. Winner becomes the undisputed WWE champion, and he leaves it at that. Both men are left in the ring. As they raise their belts, their individual theme musics play, and as the crowd is pretty much going wild over it. Half split for Cena, half split for Punk. And that's WWE Raw. My thoughts? Pretty good Raw. It propelled a lot of storylines. That first promo was amazing at the beginning of the show. There weren't a lot of matches, but they were long enough that you really didn't need a lot of matches. Let's see, what else? And once again tonight we learned that the most dangerous weapon in professional wrestling isn't barbed wire, isn't a steel chair, isn't a ladder or a table or anything else. It's a bottle of water. I'm telling you, those things are lethal. But anyway, that's Raw. Tune in this Thursday when I attempt to review TNA Impact. Emphasis on attempt. What sort of new bullshit will they spout on us this time? How will Samoa Joe fall farther than he already is? And just how many comic book supervillains is Sting gonna rip off this time? We'll find out. So until then, this is shintigercurl, that dude in the straw hat, and Joe, saying goodnight and wrestle on.